Alright, welcome to another video. We're going to be painting a boy going through a portal up high in the mountains. An image I found online, and I think it's creative and can also inspire some short story writing. So this one I'm actually going to sketch out a little bit first with pencil. So the mountains coming down. You don't have to be exact here, you can do any kind of shapes you want. And then I'm going to do the door itself, the portal. Not right in the middle, but sort of off on one side. And now I'm going to switch to my block crayon. So I'm using black, but you can use purple or brown. It should be a dark color though for the boy, and he's just in shadow, so we don't have to do his face or anything like that, or his clothes. We're just doing a head and a body. So I'm using the small edge, baby bear edge, and doing little circles for the head. And then I'm going to switch to the mama bear edge for the body. I might use the small edge actually for the whole thing, since we have to do this kind of small to leave space. Alright, nothing fancy. There he is. I'm going to go over these lines. Now remember, when we paint, the paint's going to go right over the wax, and it's going to leave the wax because we will be able to see it. So I'm going to draw little rocks and things in the mountains. Okay, now I'm ready to start painting. So I'm going to now take my sponge and dip it in the water. And the number one mistake that I see students make is too much water. So I'm going to squeeze out some of the extra water back into the jar. I want my sponge to be just damp, but not soaking wet. And then I'm going to lightly go over the whole paper. Remember, if it's too wet, everything's going to turn out muddy and sludgy and hard to see. And we can do this whole painting with the large brush. So I'm going to grab my large brush and my blue and just very lightly dip into the jar, wipe the extra paint on the side, and I'm going to start at the bottom. Now just the bottom. Okay, leave the top part white for now. But kind of curving up on the sides. See how it curves up on the sides? and then I'm gonna clean my brush completely in the water. I don't want any paint on my brush. I want it completely clean. And I want it somewhat dry, so I'm going to take some paper towel, dry my brush, and now I've got a nice dry clean brush. I'm going to bring the blue up. Creating what's called a gradient effect, so that it's light on top, darker on the bottom, lighter as you go up the page. So we've got like snow, basically, snowy mountains. Now for the sky, we're going to do a mixture of blue and yellow. So just again taking a tiny bit of blue. And I'm going to go doing streaks across the sky, back and forth. Not the whole sky, let's leave some space for yellow. Oop. That's okay. Clean my brush, grab some yellow. And I'm going to go in the spaces that I left white with the yellow. Doesn't have to be exact, we want the colors to kind of mix. And the doorway too, let's go some yellow. I'm going to go over this with red. So we kind of want an orange doorway, portal. A little too watery, so I'm going to try that again with my yellow. There's a nicer yellow. Clean my brush, dry my brush, and then red over the yellow, and then we'll be done. I had a little too much water in my sky, so I'm taking a dry brush now and just smoothing out those edges. It's already looking better. Okay. So I'm going to be careful with this red. Got a nice clean dry brush, and I'm going to just take the tiniest bit of red, otherwise red will take over and we won't see the yellow underneath. So you just want a tiny dip into the red, and always very carefully getting rid of any extra paint by rubbing it on the side of the jar. Okay, now we can go to our paper and see if we can get some orange to come through. Yep, there it is. Our boy going through the portal. What's on the other side? You tell me. Finish the story. What's going to happen to this boy? Thanks for watching.